Where is it? Oh, it's right here. Screen. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Welcome to the 2020 rendition of KansasFest. A few of us work on projects here at A.P.P.L.E. Myself, Jim Maricondo, Javier Rivera, Marcus Adams, and of course, Brian Weiser. We're one of the oldest users groups in America, founded in 1978 by Val Golding. Memberships have stayed at $27.95 for a long time. We have all of our legacy and current magazines online, hundreds of programs in our library, and every month there's third-party software discounts in the news section for our members. This is a look at our magazine. We have a current issue that's coming up with a special look back at Mike Harvey of Nibble Magazine. We've been publishing digitally since 2015 with all the magazines being almost completely online, except the 40th anniversary issue, which we published in hard form. We have a news feed which stays fairly current. Most of the articles are related to either the retro Macintosh or retro Apple II computing realm. You'll find the latest and greatest software from a variety of people on there. Obviously, we run a few other sites, Apple Archives being one. There's the Beagle Brothers website and also the Applied Engineering site that we have also done. MECC.co, it's a large cooperative effort to get all of the products online. There's about 250 or so that have been scanned so far. That project is ongoing and continues to proceed. Some of the books we've published, the What's Where in the Apple, the Tome, the WASPack, some of these books you guys have seen, you've probably even purchased, and we update them periodically, and we have a few more goodies this year as well. And now, without further ado, I'm actually going to turn this over to the author of Twilight 2, who just happens to be here in Japan with me, and we're going to share his keynote, which is this one, and go up full screen. And I'm going to let, oops, how did we get our play here? Did we go up full screen too soon? Yes, we did. Let's try that again. Okay, and I'm going to turn it over to Jim Maricondo.
Hey, Bill, thanks for the intro. Everybody, it's a pleasure to, I'm Jim Maricondo. It's a pleasure to be speaking again at a KansasFest. I think the last KansasFest I went to was in 1994, so it's definitely been a while. I have watched some of the videos from recent years, and it's amazing to see some of the other projects everybody's doing, so it's an honor to be able to talk this year. As Bill mentioned, yeah, I also live in Japan, and due to the encouragement of Bill and Brian, a couple of years ago I dug out my hard drive, made some images of it, found out that there was an unreleased version of Twilight 2, version 2.0, that kind of got stopped in 1996. And with the encouragement of these guys and the help of Antoine Vigneault, we actually are going to release Twilight 2 version 2.0 after all this time, including new manual and source code on GitHub / Call-A.P.P.L.E. So today I thought I would just kind of give a little bit of the background behind Twilight 2 when it first came out in 1992, 1993. Hold on, let me just go to the next. Okay, so anyway, Brian has been amazing to create us this beautiful new manual cover and box cover, which is going to be available later on Lulu. I wish I had this back in the day. It was much simpler. I actually borrowed a Mac Classic from James, who wrote a lot of the effects modules. Is actually here in the chat to actually write the original manual on Aldus PageMaker using the booklet plugin because it was just too much to handle on the GS. But this is really, really spectacular what Brian has put together today. Anyway, so just to get a little bit of background, of course, I think most people in the audience have heard of After Dark. You know, it came out for the Mac in '89. I actually looked it up myself today. Version 1.0, I guess, was '89. Version 2.0 was in 1990. And, you know, everybody just went crazy with these flying toasters. And so, obviously, After Dark was an inspiration to the first version of Twilight. We share, yeah. And, you know, it actually started in version 1.0. I wrote with another teenager who I met on Apple Link called Jonas Stitch, and we made it shareware. It was $10. I think we probably got about like 100 people who paid us. We split the money, and then it had lots of bugs. He went off to college. I stopped getting paid, and I thought, well, great, I'm going to rewrite this into the true vision for it. And so, welcome to Twilight 2. So I finished Twilight 2 1992. We actually first debuted it at the Apple Expo East in Boston. That was a kind of very buggy version 1.0, but I had to get something so I could start selling it. Later on, Apple Expo West, the next year in '93, we kind of shipped the real version 1.1, I guess, but that was kind of the real version. And You can see a picture here. I think that's from KansasFest '93 or '94. That's myself and James Smith, who's also in the Discord, who wrote a lot of the other effects, and Paul Zaremski. This actually in the background is one of the advertisements. I wanted to get Twilight 2 published by a commercial publisher, but it simply, it was bad timing. Like the market was falling out, and there, basically I barely made it. I did make it into Insider A+ in April '93. By that time, Insider was already, featuring the Mac on the cover. The Apple II was already a distant memory, but this was, I think maybe the next year Insider stopped being published. So we kind of made it just in the nick of time, but there weren't really any options to publish it. So I ended up starting a little company, Digisoft Innovations, and deciding to publish it myself. Anyway, so fast forward to today. This is what the program looks like. It's a control panel for the GS. This is the user interface, kind of similar to After Dark. These are some of the, this was an ad that I made back, in the 90s that shows some of the effect modules. You've already seen them in the video, of course. Today, for the re-release, we've gone through and compiled all the modules that were released, that people wrote, not just me, but also, other people like Nathan, Mates, and a couple others. And we put them all into one archive, which we're going to re-release, about 65 different modules, which is a lot. Anyway, so you can see there's a lot of different effects. Just one more note about the toasters. You can see them here in this image. I didn't really want to copy the toasters outright from After Dark, but everybody kept asking, where are the toasters? Where are the toasters? So Nathan Mates ended up releasing a module that had the toasters, but he didn't even put the toasters in the module, but they were an external graphics file that could be added to the module to get the toasters. So we weren't really infringing any copyrights, but that made people very happy to get the flying toasters. So anyway, thanks a lot for your attention, and thanks to Bill and Brian and Antoine for helping with this re-release. And also I appreciate, James in the audience there, who was really instrumental in writing a lot of these really cool effect modules. So I'll pass it back over to Bill. Thanks for your time.
All right. I hope you guys enjoyed that. We got a few more goodies here, and as soon as I share this, share the appropriate talk screen, I guess we will actually, that's back to yours. So we're going to stop sharing that one and go back to the right one. And then
I'm just going to say a few more things about Twilight too.
Okay. And then actually, I'm going to turn it completely over to Brian, and he can talk about our new products as well as what he has to say about Twilight 2.
Hi everyone, I'm Brian Weiser, and I do the design and editing for all of our books and manuals. And I just wanted to say about the Twilight 2 screensaver Jim just talked about, that the book, it's about 127 pages. About 44 pages of that is actually technical information, so you can write your own modules. And we're hoping that aspiring Apple IIgs programmers will want to create some cool new screensavers with the tools and the detailed information we provide in the documentation. And these are, again, just some samples of what the documentation is like and some of the options. But if you go to our website right now, you can read about this with the press release. You can order the manual from Lulu. You can download a PDF of the table of contents. And then right after the talk, we'll make the disk image available from that same press release as well, where you can download that. So thanks, Jim, for creating that awesome product. It's a wonderful screensaver. And next up, I've got a little bit of nibble news for you. Yes, that's me having a bad hair day with the awesome Mike Harvey, founder and publisher of Nibble Magazine. As I'm sure many of you know, Mike passed away late last year, and really hit me kind of hard. I had a working relationship with Mike and developed a personal relationship with him, and I thought it would be fitting to write a tribute to Mike at this time. And to do that, of course, I talked about our working relationship, but I also wanted to share some of the emails back up, if you could, Bill. I wanted to share some of the emails that we exchanged so you could get a feel for what it was like to work with him and some of his emotion and so forth. And I first met Mike met Mike virtually in 2008. I was exploring the availability of his PDF magazine collection for Nibble and learned that the issues weren't searchable. And so I offered to update those for him so they would be searchable. He sent me a disc with the first year of issues just to try it out because he didn't think it would work very well. Bill, could you back up, please? So he sent it to me. I did the updates. He was really impressed that it worked out so well. And unexpectedly, he actually sent me the entire disc of all 12 years of issues as a gift and just said, well, you can do some more updates if you want, but don't feel obligated to, which was very gracious of him. Of course, I did do the updates, and wanting to give back to him even more, I thought, well, hey, let's take all of those great Nibble Viewpoint editorials that he created and make a separate collection that he could sell, which he did at the time. So that's in 2008. Fast forward to 2016, and Bill, could you back up a little? Fast forward to 2016, and Mike is announced as the keynote speaker at KansasFest. And so I emailed him and congratulated him and said, how would you feel about having your Nibble Viewpoints turned into a book? And he said, great, how should we get started? And that was the beginning of a truly wonderful, productive relationship over 4 months, collaborating with Mike. We exchanged well over 150 emails. And I would pose a question the night before. I'd wake up the next morning at 8 and there would be an answer from Mike. He was always on the ball that way. And he really helped the project come out. But not only did he help, he gave a lot of trust in the project to properly represent his vision and everything he had written. To demonstrate that, one of the challenges that I faced was all the editorials he wrote, he would revisit and update across all of his issues over the years. And so I needed to hybridize his writing and merge those together. He wasn't so sure at first, but he trusted me to do that, which was very generous of him to do. And did the editing, designed the cover. Bill sent him a proof just before KansasFest. And that email, which is included, still blows me away how emotional and excited that he was. He was bowled over. It exceeded all of his expectations. And I feel really was a testament to Mike's legacy. So come up to KansasFest and get to meet him for the first time. Such a brilliant man. And at our parting, he actually gave me a pin that he had produced for his Nibble staff in the last year of their magazine as a way of saying thanks, and kind of made me feel like I was maybe part of his staff. So anyway, I wrote this the best I could to share our relationship. That article is online right now on our website. It's also in the pending PDF magazine for our members. And Mike was a great man. You should all read more about him. The last thing I wanted to say here is about the availability of Mike's magazine PDFs. There's been some random concern in the community lately because Mike's website went down and people didn't know where to go to purchase Mike's magazine PDFs. And you should know that his son has taken that over. He's revamping the website. That website will be back online a week from today, complete with some stories about Mike that his son wanted to share. So you can look forward to that availability again in a week for Mike to continue his legacy. And now I wanted to talk a little bit more about our new products. So next on the list is ProZap. ProZap is a simple sector editor. It runs under ProDOS. You can edit both ProDOS and DOS 3.3 sectors. And it also has a really neat block and sector track converter, kind of a handy little tool. And as well on one of the next slides, it also, yeah, there's the little block track sector conversion tool, which is kind of nifty. And it also has this neat little tutorial in the manual, and gives a hint of a secret message so people can start exploring the disk and have fun with sector editing. So that's ProZap. Next on the list is our next slide. ProCommand. Yes, ProCommand, the commander written by Glenn Breeden, who I'm sure you all know from creating the Big Mac macro assembler. It's a collection of tools for AppleSoft and ProDOS that adds 25 commands to ProDOS to extend those capabilities. Things like a basic editor, macros, merging programs, renumbering, properly formatting your listings, doing searches for characters and hex strings. And you can see here on this example, there's a whole slew of different double high-res commands and mouse commands. So that's really a powerful tool for extending ProDOS. And our next product, Amper Manager, written by Rick Sutcliffe, who you may know as the Northern Spy and the columns that he writes. This adds over 70 features. It allows you to directly interface machine language routines to AppleSoft through the ampersand command. And here you'll see some examples of a lot of different cool, repeat printing, decimal to hex, printing contents, enhanced string manipulation. You can actually manage your own, back up for a second, you can actually manage your own machine language subroutines and DOS utilities, catalog commands, memory utilities. It's really a powerful way of extending those programming options for you. Next up is HigherText+. Yeah, this was another fun cover to design. HigherText+ allows you to generate upper and lowercase text in a variety of fonts and sizes and colors onto the high-res screen. Comes complete with this font editor. And I should emphasize, this is a programming tool. So it's not a word processor, it's a programming tool to add high-res text to your program. So it does require some knowledge of AppleSoft Basic. And here you've got some samples of the small and the large fonts, medium fonts, a variety of different typefaces. There's actually over 45 different typefaces that are available to you. And of course, you can create your own typefaces. Yeah, Egyptian is really fun with some of those icons. And I wanted to emphasize too that if you go to our website in the news feed, you'll see press releases for all of these products. You can download PDF contents for all of them. You can order the physical manuals through Lulu right now. And then shortly after the talk, all of the software will be freely downloadable as well for you to play with. And now I'd like to turn it back over to Bill.
All right. Well, we hope you enjoyed a look at some of the things we've done. We have a few more interesting things as well this year. As you guys well know, we produced a manual for GBBS Pro. I am happy to announce that source code is available for everybody to take part in modifying on our GitHub page. If you go to GitHub/Call-A.P.P.L.E, you will see the source code for GBBS Pro, for LLUCE, which was supposed to be L&L Productions' next great GBBS compatible bulletin board system. And you can find the source code for Twilight 2. Within a day or two, we will also have the source code for Amper Manager up there as well. Take a look at that for more. And Lane Roth has been working on GBBS Pro for a little while, and Obviously, Kevin Smallwood has blessed this project and stays actively involved with it.
You have 5 minutes.
And our last thing, this is a thing that didn't get quite completed in time. We have the source code for Picnic Paranoia. And there is a ProDOS version that will be coming sometime in the few weeks past KansasFest. And with that, I guess we will close it up, but that's a look at all of our products we've done this year. They are all available on Lulu today for the manuals. As Brian mentioned, all of the programs will be downloadable here in just a short bit. The product announcements are up, and feel free to ask us questions in the Discord channel. Right now, Jim Maricondo is actually feverishly answering the questions in there.
I do want to emphasize one other thing too, with the GitHub source code. The source code for Twilight 2 and Amper Manager and GBBS is on there as well for you to explore. So don't forget about all the cool source code.
And thank you for that, Brian. I guess we're open to take any questions that anyone has at this moment.
There was a mention from Lane Roth in the chat about if anybody would like to help test or debug modems with GBBS Pro, let him know.
Okay, and I also have one more piece of news as well. Henry Pedro has put together a video, which we will be sharing later on installing GBBS Pro, where he takes the user through step by step, and that will be available at some point in the coming day or so. Is there anything else on there, Doc?
I don't see anything else new on there. Certainly, there's chat for each of these sessions, and if you want to do further discussion about all these great Call-A.P.P.L.E announcements, please look at Discord, and you can do some chatting there.
And all three of us will be available for questions. Brian, myself, and Jim Maricondo will all three be available for question and answer session on the Discord channel or even on the other places where we frequent.
All right.
Absolutely. Thank you, everybody, for listening.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you for attending.